Thank you. Good to see you again. I had a question about like the instant manifestation or the seed and then something coming to me. So what, as a very real practical example, what just happened, was that an instant manifestation, or have I planted some seed some time ago to get me in the seat?
It is always that. There is always something that has come before. The reason it feels like instant manifestation is because in the moment, it's happening in this instant, but it's like someone who has been an actor, you often hear it, that they had overnight success after 30 years of no work. But once they come on the scene, it looks like instant success because it looks like they came out of nowhere. So the question is really, how aware of the vibrational evolving have you been? You see, this is the subject of thoughts turning to things. And humans want to call it manifestation in the moment it bursts into the thing or into the experience or into the tangible, when there's so much that has happened along the way first. And so there are two reasons that you might not be aware of the difference between thoughts turning to things and instant manifestation. One is you just might not be sensitive to your energy, which is not the case with you. The other is you might just be so accustomed to the feeling of alignment that the feeling of alignment is just the way it is, and then when things manifest, it's like, oh yay. And that is the case with you. It's interesting because you called us over there. In other words, we're sort of looking over there, and there you were. You were undeniable because your expectation was very strong. And that expectation was in place before that moment. And so there you were. And did you notice, we certainly noticed, that there was no hesitation. Your expectation was so strong that you were almost in the air on your feet before we even got the point finished. Yeah. So.
And so, how do I stay there all the time?
You don't. But the way you improve the odds of being there more is by reveling in how good it feels when it does happen and never lamenting when it doesn't. It's all about the book of positive aspects rather than the book of trying to fix things that are broken.
So if we can talk from a contrast standpoint, right? So earlier you were saying when, like, I don't want to say...
What if, because there are pieces of resistance on your path always, and what if your inner being, who knows where you are in relationship to where you want to be and knows where all of those pieces of resistance are, what if your inner being calls you to something that you would call unwanted on your way to something else that you would call unwanted, on your way to something that you would call greater clarity, on your way to what you want? Your inner being can't call you to a place that you're unwilling to go. That's what we were talking about with our friend. Your inner being can't assert a vibration that's so strong that it will overcome your resistance. But your inner being, wise inner being, knowing what your resistance is, knows that you could come to this piece of resistance, which is slightly less, and then to this piece of resistance, which is slightly less, and to this piece of resistance, which is slightly less, which is usually what the pattern of thoughts turning to things is. But what if from where you stand to where you want to be, there is no resistance? That's what you want to call instant manifestation. Good clarity. Did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
But don't you sort of kind of have to make peace with wherever you are? Don't you sort of want to say, my path of least resistance shouldn't matter to me because it doesn't matter to my inner being? That's like saying, I'm going to go on a vacation and I'm going to get on the cruise ship in Fort Lauderdale, but first I got to get to Fort Lauderdale, and then being bummed that you're not just already in Fort Lauderdale. I either got to drive or I got to fly. Oh, I want to go on this cruise, but I don't want to do what it takes to get to Fort Lauderdale. You don't want to meditate. We're going to be after you today. You don't want to do what is required to be on the brink of instant manifestations. You just want instant manifestations. Well, cut it out. Start enjoying the journey, because there is satisfaction in releasing resistance, yes? Isn't it fun to sort of get where you're going through paying attention? Don't you like to be guided? And really, we know for sure that there's not one of you. Let's talk about just a physical excursion or journey somewhere. There's not one of you that wants to just go directly from where you are to there, when there's so much wonderful stuff to see along the way. So many encounters and adventures and people to see and fun to be had. The manifestation that you're looking for, the instant manifestation that you think you want. We're just going to enjoy this for a while before we tell you. Is only your excuse for the journey anyway. And the journey is so wonderful, even when it isn't. Because even when it isn't, it shores up what you want. So we're not really big fans of encouraging you to want instant manifestation. First of all, because it's fiction. And next of all, because it's more fun to have a journey than to just teleport somewhere into an experience. You do that in your dream state all the time. How do you like that? Yeah, you just show up somewhere, a little disoriented. People you don't know. Nothing really connects quite as well, but it was instant. You went to sleep and bam, there you were in a strange new world. Esther used to wake up on a really regular basis and say to Jerry, oh, I love the continuity of my life. I love waking up in this bed and knowing how I got here. Remembering what was before and eager about what's coming next. Yeah. Something more?
Yes, two things. For whatever reason, when you were just talking about whatever, trust came into my, just as a word to talk to you about, like, what is it that I can tangibly trust? I have an intuition, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on what it is that I'm trusting.
Well, earlier when we were talking about, there's doubt, which doesn't feel good, which is not a vibrational match to what your inner being knows. And then there's hoping, which is a little closer. There's less resistance in hope than doubt, but there's still resistance in hope. And then there's belief, which is less resistance than hope, but there's still some resistance in some belief. But knowing, that's when you move into the no resistance zone. And we would call knowing trust. We wouldn't call doubt trust, and we wouldn't call hope trust, and we wouldn't even call belief complete trust. But when you know something, and so what trust really is being, if only for a moment, where your inner being is. When we use the word trust, and when you use the word trust, when most use the word trust, what we all really mean mostly by that word trust is that a sustainable feeling of knowing. But you don't start out with a sustainable feeling of knowing. You start out with a doubtful feeling of knowing, and then a hopeful feeling of knowing, and then a sort of more believing feeling of knowing, and then a knowing feeling of knowing. And so it's degrees, isn't it? But the more you know the existence of your inner being, and the more you know, this is the most wonderful thing about what we get to teach you or to interact with you about. There is not a shred of evidence to the contrary of anything that we speak. So it's not hard to trust it once you allow yourself to meditate and raise your vibration and then receive that guidance. You just have to know. And once you've had enough experience where you do know that, we say to people, start out with easy things. What happens with so many of you is you've got some issue that you want to get to the bottom of or that you want to resolve. But because it's an issue, you've thought a lot about it. And you've thought a lot about it from your awareness that it isn't what you want. So without even meaning to, you've got all this resistance on this issue, and then you want to start with that issue to gain your trust. Well, that's the last issue you should start with to gain your trust, because it's the hardest issue to start with to regain your trust. You've practiced. The subject of money is a hard one because you've practiced not having enough. Even the issue of love is a hard one because you've used the word when you don't mean it. Don't you know I love you? Or you've heard it from others. And so you got to come to some vibrational awareness of what you mean. What it really comes down to is you are lovers. You love. That's who you are. And anything less than that is not who you are. But you know what's so interesting? Wherever you stand, you often believe you are right. And even if you don't feel love, you still think you're right. So you don't get to that feeling of trust because you think you're right, but you're not in sync with source, so you don't feel love. And so it's not paying off for you because you're missing some important elements. You can't be in hate or anger or frustration or doubt and be practicing trust. You can only be in love and appreciation and positive expectation and fun and lightheartedness, you see. So let's be really accurate about this. This is big. This is why you're reaching for this. Trust comes from what you thought was going to happen happening. Stay tuned. So that means if you're expecting something negative to happen, and it does, don't you say, I knew that was going to happen. So let us redefine trust from our vantage point. We want you to replace trust with alignment. Rather than go for trust, we want you to go for love. We want you to go for clarity. We want you to go for wholeness. Because it's really easy to come to expect bad things to happen when bad things have been happening. Jerry used to say, get me once, shame on you. Get me twice, shame on me. Because I should have seen it coming. Well, we're not really teaching that, but we get what he meant. When something happens and you're able to make the correlation between what you've been expecting and what comes, a lot of people who are not tuned in, tapped in, turned on, they can't get past your expectation. So your expectation evokes from people. In other words, that's what the law of attraction is. It's attraction, it's attraction, it's attraction. So you get what you think about, which means you come to trust those outcomes. But it's only when you factor in your alignment factor in what you're coming to trust that you really have your ability to deliberately create. Did you follow all of that?
Yes.
If someone always behaves in some way and you just expect them to behave in that way, and every time you're with them they behave in that way, you've come to trust that they're going to behave in that way. So that trust is not the way you want to use it, is it? And yet, isn't it a sort of trust or expectation? So we think trust is nothing more than expectation. And we would replace that word with something that is only rooted in source energy connection. So we'd call it alignment or love.